Hey everyone. So I wanted to apologize first for not doing any video recently. I'm currently in the middle of making two different ones. I'm making one regarding the difference between fascism and anti-fascism, as well as another video on critical thinking within politics. I'm going to be breaking it down, making it very easy to understand, but it's going to be a lot of research, and it's also going to be a lot of editing in order for me to actually get those two videos out. So they're going to be taking a while, especially since I'm working full-time and I'm going to be going to school again soon, starting next month. I'm also in the middle of moving. You can probably kind of tell that by looking right now. I also wanted to apologize because I haven't been posting a whole lot, especially last month, mostly because of the Black Lives Matter protests. I was too busy going out and going to actual protests, and I didn't want to take any voice away from what was going on with that. So I was making sure that I was doing more of a support role within that when I was helping out, mostly just distributing snacks, water supplies, that sort of stuff to other people, and making sure that the people that were at those events were being supported. That way their voices could be heard the best as possible, and also to try to make sure that people were safe as much as possible. That being said, I wanted to reply back to this one person that decided to comment on one of my previous videos about what trans means. They seem to be a little bit confused because Sandy argues, I'm sorry, I thoroughly disagree with this video. First of all, saying that all transgender means is not identifying with your birth sex, gender assigned at birth is incomplete and vague understanding of trans. Many people, including cis people, do not fully identify with the gender that they're assigned. Any questioning or symptom is not an automatic sign of transness. The trans literally means to change, and to change thoroughly. Since non-binary does not require change, a person, for example, can choose to keep their pronouns and morphology as is. It is wrong. It would be wrong to lump them in the same community as those who transition, i.e. through gender assignment treatments. And let me tell you something, Sandy. I am trans. I am non-binary. I know plenty of other trans non-binary people who do transition. I know binary trans people who do not physically transition. There's many different reasons on why people don't do that. Trans, the prefix trans, has many different meanings. I'm going to pull it up for you so you get a better understanding of it. So let me just Google that right now, actually. So I'm sorry, Milo is currently trying to break into my room. So the definition of trans prefix, so there's many different meanings to this one prefix. Merriam-Webster will actually state that there is, let me find if I can find this. Merriam-Webster. Okay, so the prefix of it means on or to the other side, across, beyond. It also means through, so or such as to change or transfer. So obviously there's many different meanings of it. While some transgender people will transition, not all will. And there's many different reasons why people won't. They might not feel safe in the conditions that they are. They might not have the financial ability to, or they might have some health issues that may prevent them from doing so, or they might just be in a position where they don't feel comfortable with doing it because they're worried about different side effects. I know one trans man who didn't want to transition and go on hormones, but was transitioning in other ways, but he didn't want to go on hormones because it would change his voice. I am currently about 6 months on hormones, and I will tell you that it definitely does change your voice to a certain degree. I used to be able to sing. I used to be a soprano 1 for singing. There's a lot of notes that I cannot hit anymore that I used to be able to hit. I don't know, maybe if you listen to previous videos of my voice, you might hear a different voice to a certain degree. I might be at a different tone. I don't know. I haven't heard my voice in a while. I haven't listened to my voice in a little while. Sorry, my cat is trying to sneak in. Buddy, do you want in? And it is not your position to try to judge other people on where they want to do and what they're going to be most comfortable with doing. I don't give a flying fuck if somebody is non-binary and goes by binary pronouns. I don't care about that. There are plenty of non-binary people who go by she, him, or she, her, or they go by he, him. I really don't give a fuck on how they decide to present and what they're most comfortable with. There's many different reasons, and it does not matter. It does not pertain to you. It is not your job to gatekeep and make people's lives harder. And I will say this, I started transitioning when I was 19. That's when I started realizing that I was non-binary. I'm 29, or going to be 29 soon. When I was 21, I ended up meeting somebody who was extremely abusive, extremely controlling, and very possessive. She tried to control every single aspect of my life, down to when I could shave, what I could wear, etc. She wanted me to be more feminine than I actually wanted to be. This resulted in me going back into the closet for a couple more years. And I transitioned back to going and being like, oh, I'm okay with she, her, but I wasn't really. It took me a while to get to where I am now. And if more people were gatekeeping, it wouldn't have taken me. I probably would have still been in the closet. I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So you gatekeeping actually specifically hurts people in the community. I don't give a flying fuck what you think. If we want to identify as trans, we are trans. There's not any magical thing about it. All we want you to do is respect our gender, respect our pronouns, and respect how we want to identify. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't whine about it. Don't complain about it. Don't try gatekeeping and telling us that we're not actually trans, or that you shouldn't have to respect us because we don't present in the way that you choose to define how we should look. That's not fair on us. It's not okay. I'm not going for that. In fact, I'll also tell you this. Not every trans person that is transitioning to the mask side should have to bind. I'm currently not binding. This is my non-binding day. I just got done work. I work at a car dealership. So I was furloughed for a month. I'm no longer furloughed right now. So I'm working constantly, dealing with people on a regular basis who misgender me, because everybody's expecting, oh, somebody with the name Lee must be a guy. And I get all kinds of people where I'm on the phone and I get Elise, Alicia, and they seem to make up any other kind of name for me because they hear my voice and think she. I'm not she, I'm they. My pronouns are they, them. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be correcting every single one, because I'm only going to be talking to them for about 5 fucking minutes. Tops. What matters to me is whether or not the people that I see on a regular basis, like my friends and family and coworkers, are actually going to be using the right pronouns and the right name. I don't give a flying fuck about anybody else who I meet and see for only 5 minutes. So, depending on what's going on, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not the only trans person who feels that way too. It's one of those, I gotta pick my battles. See where I can. So, to any other person who wants to gatekeep trans people, stop. You're not helping anybody. And I really, really, truly hope that you think on that. Think about whether or not you're actually supporting the trans community by gatekeeping, because you're really not. You're not helping anybody. And I help run a trans support group. One of the major rules that we have is that there's no one way to be trans. There isn't. So don't try to argue any other way. Don't try to argue that, oh, that trans person is not helping the trans community. They're making it harder for other people to be respected. No, you're making it harder for other trans people to be respected. By gatekeeping. Just respect our pronouns. Just respect our identity. Non-binary people are trans. And I was trans before I started transitioning, because trans does not mean transitioning. That's not what it's short for. Okay, so I'm going to close this off now, and I'm hoping that in the next couple weeks I can actually have the other videos done. But stay kind to each other, and seriously, just stop with the gatekeeping in my comments. I'm tired of it. Bye.